Today I'm going to try to make Guinan's tunic. So I started by getting a teal skirt from the Salvation Army for a couple of bucks, and then I cut a slit right down the center, and that's what it looks like when it's opened up and laid out flat. And then I cut off the skirt's waistband all the way around and laid it back out flat again. And I did the same thing with the second skirt and laid the second piece of skirt over the first piece. And then I cut arm shapes up through both layers and did that on each side, so it was one arm on each side. And there's the two layers there. You're going to end up sewing the two layers together. So you sew the inside arm seam and the outside arm seam, and then both sides of the main body part, and then of course the inside seam and outside seam of the other arm as well, leaving the top and bottom open. So then I got a sweater. Doesn't look exactly like Guinan's top, but for $4 I could live with the difference. And then I just cut it off underneath the armpits. And then I cut 2 half circles to give it the appropriate Guinan shape. Then I cut off the arms, so I was left with this. So then I took some teal bias tape, and you just want to wrap that around the entire bottom edge of the sweater. And you can glue that in place using fabric glue or hot glue, though if you use hot glue you won't be able to throw this in the dryer. But just glue the tape all the way around the bottom. Then I also glued a second layer here to make it look like the second layer that Guinan had. Mine's just one layer, but it kind of looks like the second layer with the bias tape. So then you want to take the big shirt that you made out of the 2 skirts, and you'll shove that up into the sweater part you just made. Get it all smoothed out and organized. And then you'll just glue that in place. It will of course be wrinkly, but that's what you want. Just go all the way around the sweater, gluing it to the skirt shirt. Is that I didn't have enough fabric to do the second layer at the bottom of the tunic, so what I did to make up for it was I just made a fold, and then I glued the fold in place to kind of give it that 2-layered look. If you can find material that matches, you'll just either sew or glue a second layer underneath, but if you run out of material like me, you can just fold it under and glue it in place to give it that second layer look. Frisbee time!